Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat on a bitter cold, just like last Sunday, a bitter cold Sunday afternoon. Yesterday was 50 or 60 degrees here in Oklahoma. I was in Ohio yesterday where they have snow on the ground. Had an incredibly great time, a super time at Vic Sports Center in Kenton, Ohio. That's about 45 minutes from Cleveland. And just had a wonderful time there. Had a huge crowd, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. A lot of y'all showed up that are here on our social media platforms, our YouTube channels. With 3 YouTube channels, Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing, brand new channel. We just started about a month ago. And Jimmy and Chris Houston's Twin Eagle Ranch, and of course, Catch a Better Life, Catch a Better Life. By the way, I'm going to throw a couple of words out there at the end of this Sunday afternoon chat. A couple of words that I want to visit with you about for just a little bit that will absolutely change your life as well. It's something that will can make everything in your life better. Your marriage better, you're raising your family better, your job, your occupation, your job or your career or whatever you might be doing. These 2 words absolutely can make your life better. So make your wife better too, maybe. But make your life better, absolutely, no doubt about it. I want to throw those 2 words out at the end of this chat because it's not going to be a real long chat. We've had a fantastic week at the Eagle, just a really, really great week at the Eagle. Everything's going good there. It was beautiful quite a bit of the week, but it was cold also. We've got some more winter weather coming in this next week. Got ice, and a little bit more rain perhaps. We are at 1.4 inches of moisture in that storm the other day where we got all that snow. And that is 3/10 up for the months of January and February combined last year. That's right. In January and February last year, we had 1.1 inch. We got a possibility of a little more rain here these last couple of days of the month. And the first few days of February, we got a chance for rain. But it's going to be cold. It's going to be wintertime. We're going to have some ice storms. That means the power will be out. So everybody needs to kind of get ready and prepare for that if you're in the south, because that storm's going to sweep across the south. Going to come down, sweep across the north first. But the people up in the north seem to handle that ice a little bit better than we do here in the south, it seems like. But everything's great at the Eagle. Chris had a marvelous week. She walked very well with Stephen the 2 times that he came and done her rehab this week. And of course, I'm walking with her also some of the days that I can't do it every day. I could do it every day, but I just can't talk Chris into letting me do it every day. Letting her walk, but she's doing good. She's working on her balance drills back and forth and back and forth. And she's gaining on this. She's gaining on this. And thank you so much. You know, there's been literally hundreds of thousands of prayers. So many people I visited with yesterday at Vic Sports Center. Vic Sports Center is the #1 Ranger boat dealer in the world. That's right. They sell more Ranger boats than any Ranger dealership in the world. That's an amazing thing to do. It's absolutely amazing. And Ranger boats are sold all over the world, not just here in the United States. They have dealers overseas in Japan, Africa, South Africa, and quite a few other places. And it's just amazing that Kenton, Ohio, and I want to talk about that dealership here at the end of this chat. That's what I want to visit with. But Chris is doing good. You know, one of the biggest challenges I have is keeping her encouraged and believing that she will walk again. That right arm is going to come back, and she'll be able to use that right arm. That she'll be able to talk plainly all the time instead of me being able to understand her, you know, part of the day, and other parts of the day not being able to understand her. And some days I understand everything she says, other days I understand almost nothing. So she's having a hard time in her mind believing, because February 5 will be 22 months. February 5 just comes up in about another week. Be 22 months, and that seems like a long time, and she's gets discouraged, and so my job is to keep her encouraged. A lot of other jobs in taking care of her, but that's the biggest one right there, is keeping her encouraged. So, but we've had a great week. It's been cold. I didn't get to fish any at all this week. I did get to fish 3 days during the month of January. A couple of days down in Texas and a day here in Oklahoma, and we caught more fish in Oklahoma than one day. We did all 3 days in Texas, both days in Texas put together, and 3 different lakes in Texas, and I caught more here in Oklahoma that one day. So does that mean Oklahoma fishing better than Texas? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know. But it's been a good week, and Chris is progressing well, and I appreciate all the prayers. Keep praying. Don't stop. Prayers are what's keeping her alive. Prayers is what's got her from where she was that day on April 5, 2 years ago. what's kept her here. It's what's kept her here. It's what's allowed the miracles that God's performed in these last 22 months to happen, and it's only going to get better. I can't wait to see what God's going to do next in her life, because He's going to completely heal her. I feel real positive of that. So all the deer seem to be doing well. We are very, very concerned about Whitey. Obviously, he's losing weight, and he was gaining his weight back for a while, so we don't have the infection killed, and we're really concerned about getting that infection out of his body. But we still got antlers on a few of the deer. We'll have some videos of those deer this week and take a look and see if we got antlers on all of them, or if they've lost their antlers, or how it goes. It won't be long till the antlers will start growing back, and we'll be able to watch them, because there are a lot of them hanging around the house. We had some alfalfa coming this week for the deer. My buddy couldn't get in the gate, the middle gate, he said, and it was working just fine when we pushed the button, but evidently it was not working when he was there, and so he left. He's going to bring the alfalfa back this week. All this cold weather, the deer really need that alfalfa. It's good for them, really, during the cold weather. So we got 21 big bales of alfalfa coming in. They'll be able to feed these deer alfalfa all the way through the springtime. So that'll be absolutely fantastic. And we're looking forward to this coming week. I'm not planning on getting out too much. I want to get out a little bit, of course, to do some videos with the deer, but I'm really not planning on too much, because it's going to be in the 30s and 40s every single day. It's really, other than that little deal back before Christmas, kind of the first touch of winter that we really had, that will be over a multiple day period of time. And then after that, it's right back in the 50s and 60s, all the way up till about the middle of February. And of course, if you get to the middle of February, that's when I believe you sort of start turning the corner to start ushering in some good spring days and good spring fishing, and we all look forward to spring. When you get to see another spring, in your life, what a bonus that is. What a bonus and a blessing that really is, get to do that. I mentioned that we were at Big Sports Center in Kent, Ohio, because I want to talk about him a little bit. And I think that we've got quite a few more appearances coming up in February. I know that we'll be up at the Columbus, Ohio boat and sport and travel show there, the big outdoor show there in Columbus, Ohio. We'll be there on a Friday. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday show, a big show. We'll be there on Friday only. And then we'll be down at McGehee, Arkansas at First Baptist Church there in McGehee on that following Saturday night. I want to think that is 10 and 11 of March. Of February. I'm not real sure, but I'll get those dates down pat, and then I will. Gosh, it's cold out here. It's cold out here. I'll get those dates down. The wind's blowing pretty good. I'm back in behind some trees and kind of get ducked in out of the wind as good as I can get, but it's still cold. I mean, it's just temperature cold. If I was out there in the wind, I don't know if I could be able to stand it, because it's pretty chilly. It's pretty chilly. But I'll be at that First Baptist Church on a Saturday evening. I think that the dinner starts at 4:30, and then the main event starts at 6 or something like that. I'm not positive. We got quite a few churches lined up, several here in Oklahoma and several around the country that we'll be speaking at over the next couple months. So sometimes they run together in my mind a little bit. But I'll be doing a video and putting it out there on next Friday or whatever that Friday is, the Friday outdoor show in Columbus, Ohio, and then also the next night in McGehee. Benelli is knocking the tripod around right here, trying to play with Bella, but I'll be in those times. I'll do a video on that, so we'll have those dates down right. But so plan on being there in Columbus. Ohio on that Friday for that big outdoor show. It's a great show. It's going to be a tremendous show. And I will also be the following night. We'll be in McGehee, and I'll let you know when those will be. She's playing with Bella, and Bella don't want to play with her, but boy, she gets to running sideways and jumping. She hits my tripod, knocks it all around. So, but she's going to be a dandy. I'm telling you, she's still got a demon in her, but I'm going to exercise it out. But the words that I wanted to, end up this deal with on Sunday afternoon chat is a couple of words because they can absolutely change your life. And they're words that you don't hear a lot in today's society. You don't hear a lot with the younger working population that we have in the country, kids that are in college or just getting out of college or in high school or just getting out of high school. You don't hear this word too much. We hear it probably more in the Midwest and the South than they do on either coast. And but the two words are hard work. hard work. Or you can reverse them, working hard. Work hard, hard work. And the reason I wanted to talk about those just a little bit, and I know a bunch of you are probably clicking me out right now because you don't want to work hard. And a lot of the younger generation does not want to work hard. But I'm going to tell you, hard work pays off in America right now, just like it did when I graduated from college at 22 years of age, just like when I started working at 11 and 12 years old and been working ever since, just like I'm still working now, quite a few years after most of my buddies that I went to high school and college with have retired. And I probably won't ever retire. I'll probably keep working as long as I can stay healthy. If I retire, I'm probably not able to work. I'm probably not healthy enough to work and not able to work, or maybe just simply too doggone old to work. But hard work, and I want to just tell you a little story about my buddy Vic Bottolero up there, because it is amazing what he has done with his life. He's a super tremendous fisherman. Like I said, he won a BASS tournament at Dardanelle. He was a really, really good tournament fisherman. Fished the FL tournaments on some of the top teams that FLW had back in the years when they had a lot of teams. And he was on 2 or 3 different teams, and they were all great teams. And he just represented himself so very well. And the reason he did was because he worked hard. But let me tell you, when Vic Bottolero started in business, and Vic's got a beautiful wife and 3 boys and a girl, or 2 boys and a girl. I think 3 boys and a girl. He's got a 2-year-old, and she's just a doll. She's absolutely a doll. But Vic started when he was 22 years old. He started looking around a place there around where they lived in Ohio, to start an archery store, sell bows and arrows and repair archery equipment and teach people how to shoot, and then also sell fishing tackle. And he started it called Vic's Sports Shop, or Vic's Sports Store. And Sportsman, Vic Sports, that's what it's called, Vic Sports. And Vic was 22 years old when he started that, and he was looking around for a place, and he couldn't find any place that he could afford to buy. He couldn't find any place that he could really afford to rent. And so what his dad suggested, and his dad's still alive, his mom's still alive, his grandma was like 98 years old or 99 years old, and just wonderful family. I love them all. I've known his mom and dad for a long time. They used to come to some of the tournaments, and I just, you can't help but fall in love with the entire family, and which I have done years and years ago. Fell in love with that entire, and his brother, Vic's brother, and Vic's brother helps him run the dealership, and probably works just as hard or harder than Vic. But at 22 years old, he wanted to start that business, and he really didn't want to start a boat business or a boat dealership at all. But he wanted a Vic Sports Shop, and he couldn't find any place. And his dad, where they lived, where his parents lived, and he lived, his dad said, well, he's got a house there, and he had 20 acres, and he had a big barn out beside his house. He's 20 acres, and his dad said, well, son, why don't you just put your sports store, build you another barn right beside my barn back there, and behind my house in the backyard, basically. Build you, and so he has no storefront. He has a backyard. You have to drive in back behind his dad's house, he said, his dad told him, he said, so just build your barn back there, go ahead and build you a real nice barn back there, however big you want it, and start your sports business, sports store business that you want to start. Reminds me a little bit of Johnny Morris starting Bass Pro Shop in his daddy's liquor store. But now Vic, he didn't have a liquor store to start it in, so he built him a barn back beside his dad's barn. And his dad was real smart. His dad's very, very smart. And his dad still cooks lunch for all the employees there every single day at noon. He cooks lunch, a homemade Italian lunch. And we had some yesterday, and it's absolutely fantastic. We had rigatoni yesterday, and it was great. It was absolutely great. But so he said, you build a barn back there and open up your archery store and your sports store there in that barn. And if it works out fine, well, you got a place there that you not having to pay any rent on. All you got to do is just pay for building the barn. And if it doesn't work out, I'll have another barn. So his dad had it either way. In other words, it was going to be a winner either way. He would either succeed in business or he would succeed. Well, cutting through all the chase of all the years and all the stories and all the heartbreaks and the hard work, but Vic felt like that as long as he worked hard, he could make it in that business. And he actually eventually moved that from being into archery business and the fishing tackle business to selling boats and motors, and he built more barns back there, bigger barns, and it's still just they're sort of just barns is what they are. Concrete floors in them, but right now they're full of Ranger boats, tracker boats, nitro boats, Mercury motors, all kinds of electronics and that you put on everything that you do with boats, and he has become Ranger's largest dealer in the entire world, not just in the United States, but in the entire world. And he doesn't even have a storefront. He doesn't even have a big sign out there. I don't even see a sign out there anywhere. It said Vic Sports. It's on the top of his original barn there. It said Vic Sports Center. But that's it. And it's all because of hard work. All because of hard work. And can I tell you younger people out there, those of you that are in high school and in college, and so much now they want to go out there and they feel like the world owes them a living and somebody owes them a big fancy job, pay them a lot of money. They should be able to work from home. They don't want to work, but they don't even want to work 40 hours a week anymore. They want to work like 35 hours or 32 hours. They don't want to work 5 days a week or 6 days a week or 7 days a week. I still routinely, myself, and I know Vic Bottolero does, I still routinely put in 70, 80, 90, 100-hour weeks at times. Don't put in that many 100-hour weeks, but I put in a lot of 80 and 90-hour weeks still, after all these years, we work really, really hard at what we're doing. I still am doing like 60 personal appearances. But Vic's whole business, his whole success story is built on what his granddaddy told him. If you work hard at it, you can succeed in this country. If you work hard at it, you can succeed. And I don't know anything about, back about how big grandparents and maybe great grandparents or whatever got to this country, but obviously they back in his ancestry somewhere, they immigrated here to the United States. But his granddaddy told him you'll be successful at whatever you do if you work hard at it. And he has taken that deal of hard work and built it into the largest Ranger dealership in the world, not just the United States, but in the world. So whatever you're doing out there, work hard at it. Work hard at your marriage. Work hard at raising kids. Work hard at your job. Work hard at your career. Yeah, work hard when you're playing too. It's easy to work hard when you're playing, isn't it? It's easy to fish hard when you're out there fishing. It's easy to hunt hard when you're out there trying to, find you a big old giant buck that you might be able to get. It's easy if you're out there in a bowling league to work hard at trying to become a better bowler or a better golfer or playing basketball or whatever. Whatever your hobby might be, it's really easy to work hard at that. Everything that I took up through my life, I tried to be the best I could be at it. It didn't matter whether it was water skiing in water ski tournaments or playing basketball. And I played basketball until about 5 or 6 years after I was out of college, or fishing. It didn't matter. I worked as hard as I possibly knew how. I had a passion for everything I was doing. Work hard at whatever you're doing. So many people in America, probably a greater percentage now than ever in my lifetime, and I've lived a long time, do not work hard. But can I tell you what that allows? It allows for those of us that will work hard to be super successful at marriage, super successful at raising kids, super successful in our job, our career, super successful in whatever hobbies we want to do. Work hard. And for those of you that are not working hard, you want to change your life for the better. It's a lot of ways to do it. But whatever way you are deciding to change your life for the better. And if you're not wanting to make your life better, just will call God to tell him to bring me home. Okay, because if you're not wanting to get better at everything you're doing in your life, like I said, you just will check out and go on to heaven. But if you'll work harder at what you're doing, and I don't care if you're working 60 hours a week, you work 70. You need to work smart, no doubt about that. But you work harder at what you're doing, you will watch your star climb. You will watch your family get better. You will watch your marriage get stronger. You will watch your relationships get better by simply working hard at everything you're doing. You want to be a better fisherman? I tell people all the time, so what's the best tip you got for me? Go early, stay late. You work hard at it. You fish hard all day long. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great week. Work hard at this week. Work hard at having fun. Work hard at being a great mom and dad, a great grandma and granddad. being a great son and daughter. Work good at being a great employee or a great boss or a great partner. Work hard at having fun. Work hard at doing whatever God's telling you to do. Guys and girls, remember, golly, I sure do love you.